You've learned all the basics so far. Now let's actually build something real. We're starting from a blank sheet. We're going to make a few intentional choices and build a simple subscription tracker that you can reuse. I want to know what subscription services I'm paying for and how much they cost. We're not going to use any templates or any dashboards, just build something useful. So in this subscription tracker, I'm going to start by putting a title at the top. And I'm going to give myself just a little bit of space. Now each row is going to represent one subscription. So we're going to have service name, category, monthly cost, billing cycle, and whether it's active or not. And that should be enough to describe one subscription completely. Now I'm just going to enter a few subscriptions to see how this might work. So that should give you an idea of the kind of information that we're going to store for each of these services. I went ahead and added a few more rows just so you didn't have to watch me type. Because this is a list where each subscription has the same kinds of information, it makes sense to turn this into a table. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now, because this is a table, Excel gives us filters at the top in the headers and a little bit of light formatting with the banded rows. And because it's a table, this list can grow as I add more subscriptions. So Excel now understands that this is structured data. Now, just to make this a little more readable, I'm going to do a little bit of light formatting. That's pretty good for the moment. And I just want to show you that we can filter normally. Instead of all, I'm just going to choose yes. And you see it filtered to just the active subscriptions. And clear that. Or we can filter to just streaming and shopping. And Excel will filter on that. And we can also sort our services from A to Z. The next thing I want to add are some totals. So I'm going to add a total row. And I'm going to total all the subscriptions. You see it already added a total to active. And what it's doing here is counting how many. You can see that here, it's counting how many subscriptions there are. We're just going to leave that. And now I also want to calculate the annual cost. So I'm going to just type that in the next header column. And I'm going to say that the annual cost is the monthly cost. And I just clicked in that cell times 12. And you see it automatically filled in all of the rows in the table using that same logic. And you will notice that Excel copied down that formula for all of the rows. Now, I didn't leave myself a whole lot of space up here, but I'm going to insert some more rows, and you can just select several rows and click Insert. And I want a little summary, total monthly cost and total annual cost. And active subscriptions. So the total monthly cost will be that. The active subscriptions, we're just going to type equals and click in the total for the active, which is again the count of the active. Now the total annual cost, I don't have anything to click here. I'm going to just go ahead and reference that cell with the equals and then clicked in that cell, but there's nothing here yet. But we want to do a sum on here, and we will expand this out a little bit more. So now I have a summary that shows me my total monthly cost, my total annual cost, and the subscriptions that are being counted in that. And I'm going to actually rename this because this is just subscriptions. Now, if I change this and just show active subscriptions, so our subscription is yes, you see it immediately changed the information to reflect the new totals. Now, if I want to add another subscription, just click in this last row, in the last column, tab, and I can add Paramount Plus, streaming, and $16.99 monthly, and yes. And you can see that it updated all the totals. It formatted everything the same as the other rows. And you can keep doing that for however many subscriptions you want to add. Now, let's say the cost of Spotify went up from $12.99 to $14.99. Again, all of the totals update, and this is very difficult to break. So I just have a little bit more I want to do to make this look a little bit nicer. I'm actually going to move these to that column, and then format them to be right justified. And I'm going to add some borders around, and I'm going to make those bold, and I'm going to make the subscription tracker bold and maybe a little bit bigger. And that's a pretty good start. Now I have a tracker for all of my subscriptions. I can see how much it's costing me every month and how much it's costing me each year for all of these. Now remember, not all of them are active, so if I only want to see what I currently am subscribing to, I can change this to no, and it gives me the totals for what I'm paying for today. So you can see in a very short amount of time, we created something very useful and that can be expanded as we add more subscriptions. If you can build this, you can build some very useful spreadsheets, and you can feel confident that you have a good foundation in how Excel works. So until next time, I wish you smooth sailing.